So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the third episode of M Talk. Our guest for today is a man with quite an interesting background. And it's a background that I'm sure a few Christites would definitely relate to. A mechanical engineer who found his passion in marketing. Please welcome Mr. Rajat Nayak. Sir. So he is an area sales manager at SPYK Hard Seltzer, and we can't wait to hear his thoughts on sales and marketing. So moving on to the first question, sir. The elephant in the room, obviously. Why and how the jump from mechanical engineering to marketing? What made you do that?
So basically, mechanical engineering happened because my sister is a mechanical engineer.
Okay.
So, I knew that, I had a guide somewhere, right? So I kind of stepped into the field. It was pretty interesting because I had a passion for automobiles, and mechanical was something generic from which you could switch it to maybe aeronautical or automobile. But going ahead, I kind of started getting into management subjects, operations, management something, then realized the value that, a management person would have. So even if you talk about an industry, you talk about an organization, there's a technical side, there's a managerial side. So the managerial person comes not always knowing the technical side of things. So there is always a gap. So if you come from a technical side and then you enter a managerial position, you kind of have that edge because you know the ground reality.
So the gap is filled.
So the gap is sort of filled.
Yeah.
So that is why I kind of gave my shot at MBA. Yes, I did try for all the colleges. I wrote a lot of exams and everything, and Christ happened to me by chance. So I think I did not actually push for getting into it, but then somebody suggested that, hey, you should, really check it out. The program is really good. Got in, no regrets, 2 years, best years of my life. Yeah, so then here I am. So I got placed in United Breweries through that. So I was always thinking that I'll get into operations. I almost filled the form for MBA in operations. But then I was like, what is the point in doing something that I already know, subjects that I've already learned? Might as well do something that I'm passionate about, and that's marketing. So I actually wanted to partly get into advertising and marketing, but then thought, let me first start with sales, because a lot of people told, a lot of mentors in college also said, start with sales. Because unless you start with sales, you don't realize if you just enter marketing, then you don't know anything on ground, right? At the end of the day, that's the core. That's how I started with sales, and
here I am. That's the story behind the check. Okay. Thank you, sir.
So the next question is what are your duties as an area sales manager, and what are the challenges you are facing in day-to-day life?
So the basic duty of the area sales manager would be managing the team. Have a team on ground that touches all our potential outlets and reaches out to our potential customers on a day-to-day basis, and managing their operations. So it's pretty much managing the whole show. And earlier, where I used to work back when it was Kingfisher, and as a market leader, the role was very different because there was a huge team, and I could work in a way that my team would be on ground, and my presence on ground could have been minimal. Whereas when I'm moving into a newer setup where it's more like a startup, so I'm like 80% of the time I'm on ground. It's sort of field work, because I need to drive it in such a way that my team also sees how it's done. And so it's a challenge, yes. It's fun, because at the end of the day, I never liked a desk job. So I always wanted to be on the go. So kind of helps me that.
How about we get to know our guests a little more personally? So this third segment is called This or That. And what we do here is, I'll give you an example. So this is Hari, and then I'll be asking you a question. Sedans or sports cars? What do you prefer?
Sports cars.
Okay. So this or that. Simple question. Just have to choose your choice. That's about it. Okay. Moving on to this or that. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Saving or investing?
Saving.
Okay. And any reason this to it?
I just prefer. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So marketing or engineering? There's no interest.
At this point, I would say marketing.
Okay.
Because I'm just new in this space and I really want to explore more.
So Android or iOS?
Android.
Any specific reason?
I feel iOS is too restrictive because I've never used an iPhone, but I never get it's such a hard task to figure out my way. Everyone has the same issue.
That switch is...
What is the switch? I mean, once you use an iPhone, the guide will, everything has to be from the umbrella of an Apple.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's within another ecosystem, but it's marketing at the end. It's a brilliant marketing company.
People always blame you if you can't,
an iOS system. I mean, as salespeople, as marketing people, if we kind of buy an iPhone, then buy a Mac, and then buy something else, and then we are like kind of falling apart.
Exactly. They say we can't come out of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So digital marketing or traditional marketing?
Traditional marketing.
Any reason?
Easy because think of the best brands that have survived the test of time, right? So most of them have not been through digital marketing. So you're from Bangalore?
No.
Anyone from Bangalore? Okay, but from when did you come to Bangalore? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And where do you get the best dosas in Bangalore?
Yeah.
How do you know Rameshwar Cafe?
Friends.
What's that?
I got to know about through Instagram reels.
Correct. Instagram reels happened because Rameshwar Cafe kind of blew up with that, but I was talking more about, let's say, CTR or MTR, or all these traditional places which if you ask the average Bangalorean, they will tell you when they grew up eating that, and these places became famous through word of mouth because people kind of loved thing and then they spoke about it, right? So word of mouth in traditional marketing goes way, way back, and it has, if you ask me, it has way solid powers than any digital marketing platform.
Okay, that's a pretty valid answer.
Yeah.
So, sir, last question. What's the one thing you like about being a sales manager, area sales manager, and then what's the one thing you dislike about it?
One thing I like is that I'm always out on the go.
Okay.
I kind of don't have a fixed schedule every time. It kind of keeps, it's very dynamic. It's not very,
That's not so monotonous.
yeah, I can maybe go to office or go to market. It kind of, I can plan my day on my own. I don't have somebody telling me how I should do it.
Yes.
What I don't like is, so the thing is, the industry is built, so the setup that I work in, it's not necessarily a corporate to corporate type of setup. It's not like a B2B sales, or it is a B2B sales anyway, but what I'm saying is it's not a sort of place where it's a very professional setup. So you kind of deal with different people. You come across people with, who like have studied or well educated, and then they've come into the business, or people who are absolutely not educated but have a business sense, and you deal with different sorts of people, right? So there are certain points of time where as salespeople you're supposed to follow up, supposed to do your basics, right? So it kind of, people don't realize the kind of pressures and like the kind of things that happen within the company.
Okay.
It's more of like you end up telling your own problems at the end of the day. So we kind of become a prey to that, where we listen to everybody's problems, but our kind of agenda or our objectives don't get pushed ahead. Maybe the sale, maybe the product or whatever, right? So I think people, mix of people, that's pretty much a challenge, like managing different sort of people, understanding everybody. So it's more of a people skill game.
So it's like a diverse background of people.
Correct. Yeah. So managing people is like the biggest challenge.
We will keep
Internal and external.
Okay. So that marks the end of our session with Mr. Rajat. We thank him for finding the time amidst his busy schedule. So we are grateful to have met you. And moreover, we wish you the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.